back, everybody, at 360 Sports Network at 360sportsnetwork.com. I am the Lost Cause, coming to you again with the Pigskin Blink, a daily look at fantasy football in the NFL and everything in between to help make your fantasy football team hum. Let's get it started with the injury report for today's games. Scott Chandler, tight end out of Buffalo, is out for the game, as well as Andre Johnson for the Texans with a hamstring injury. Darren McFadden is still out for the Raiders, as well as wide receivers Jacoby Ford and Denarius Moore. That kind of leads me into believing that you're going to see more out of Bay, as well as Chaz Shilans. So Chaz Shilans, if his foot injury doesn't tweak up too much, he might be a fantasy pickup in deeper leagues, and he's definitely one in sleeper leagues. On the questionable list, Willis McGahee out of Denver with a knee injury. Laurent Robinson and Miles Austin might even be back. However, they're both questionable, which kind of leads Des Bryant and Witten to probably have some pretty solid games. Kevin Smith is still listed as questionable, but I don't see how much playing time he's going to have if Maurice Morris is available. You should probably go pick him up. Adrian Peterson, still questionable. Jeremy Maclin is definitely a wide receiver of note. He got downgraded to questionable this week, which doesn't look too good for his ability to play. Vic will probably be back. Nate Washington is also questionable for the Tennessee Titans. Looking ahead to today's game, and who, as well as tomorrow's game for the rest of the week, these games, who are solid plays by position. For wide receiver, Calvin Johnson, he's going to be hosting the Vikings. Wes Welker is going to be playing at Washington, and Vincent Jackson is also in the top 3 or 4. He's going to be hosting the Buffalo Bills. However, the big one I think is going to be Greg Jennings. Over the last 4 out of 5 weeks, he's found pay dirt in those 4 games, and in the last 2 especially, he has 70 plus and then 90 plus last week, as well as 1 touchdown in each game. So he's a definite play. Jennings, it will be a solid play this week. As far as running backs, Ray Rice, he's going to be playing against the Colts. MJD is going to be hosting the Buccaneers, and Chris Johnson is going to be hosting the Saints, which there's probably not going to be too much coming out of Tennessee. However, Chris Johnson has shown some pretty solid weeks as of late, so I think that he's worth the start. I think the big one is going to happen Monday night with Marshawn Lynch. He has at least 100 yards and a touchdown in the last 3 out of 5 games. He scored 19 points in standard scoring. That's 10 yards on the ground for 1 point, 10 yards in the air for 1.6 for a touchdown. He has at least 19 points in standard scoring 4 out of the last 5 weeks. And the last time St. Louis, he played at St. Louis, he ran for 88 yards and a touchdown. So I think that things are pretty much, in alignment for him to have a pretty nice size game. I'm probably guessing 138 to 140 yards on the ground and a touchdown, if not 2. For quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers is, of course, the top quarterback. He's going to be hosting Oakland this week. Tom Brady is going to be at Washington, and Matthew Stafford is going to be hosting the Vikings. The big play, though, I think is going to be Drew Brees at Tennessee. He's on a path to set the single-season record for passing yardage, and in all of his games this year, he has at least 1 score, and only 3 of the games this year, he only has 1 score. So he's scored in 2 or more in 9 games this season. In the last 4 games, though, is the big thing, and that's where the trend is. He's averaged 321 yards and almost 3 touchdowns. That's it for me for this Sunday and our look ahead. You can check out this broadcast as well as every other broadcast of the Pigskin Blank at 360sportsnetwork.com, as well as fantasyfootballtoolkit.com. You can email me any questions, comments, suggestions to lostcause@fantasyfootballtoolkit.com. Take it easy.